There have been times in American history when great tragedy caused those who are elected to serve to come together and respond with thoughtful action to improve laws, preserve rights, and protect communities. And Tennesseans are asking us to set aside politics and personal pride. And they're depending on us to do the right thing.
Yeah, so while Lee was talking that game in front of the camera, what was he doing behind closed doors? Check this out. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has signed off on additional protections for gun and ammunition dealers, manufacturers, and sellers against lawsuits within a bill that lawmakers passed after a deadly shooting in March. The Republican governor quietly signed the legislation Thursday. Its provisions kick in on July 1. Lee's choice to sign a bill comes as he keeps pushing for the same Republican lawmakers who hold supermajorities in the House and Senate to pass a proposal that aims to keep guns away from people who could harm themselves or others. Lee has called lawmakers back into an August special session to consider the change after they adjourned last month without taking up his temporary mental health order of protection proposal. Yeah, that's really cute because again, as we have stated, mental health problems are everywhere, yet we're the only ones having these mass shootings. And I would like to say it's definitely the access to the guns. And instead of maybe broadening the avenues for which we can make change and hold people accountable, well, Lee just narrowed it by making it more difficult to hold gun manufacturers accountable. And the thing is that Tennessee is not the only jurisdiction where there are protections in place against any kind of firearm manufacturer. No, 17 states have given some kind of immunity to the gun industry. And also federal law basically shields these manufacturers. That shows you that our leaders and legislature are more likely to pass laws to protect those who create these instruments of death than they are to protect the lives that are unnecessarily dying. I don't get it, Rayyvana.
I mean, pointing out Republican hypocrisy, it's easy to do because it's every word that comes out of their mouth is hypocritical. But at a certain point, it just becomes so frustrating because the politicians seem to, obviously they don't care about the hypocrisy. Their campaigns are getting funded by the gun lobbies, the gun manufacturers. They'll continue to say whatever they have to try to appease their constituents who are righteously angry that these laws are allowing their children to get murdered in schools or people to feel unsafe every day leaving their house, while simultaneously taking money and passing laws to benefit the industries that facilitate that happening. And I just wish calling attention to this hypocrisy would change the minds of the voters more than it does. But it's just infuriating to watch this happen again and again and again and again, and to see so little change and to see politicians pretend that they're standing for the people when we know objectively that the people want more gun regulations, in every state, all across the country, Republicans or Democrats, independent, doesn't matter. People are for, common sense gun reform, gun regulation. And it just doesn't come. It doesn't matter how many children are getting murdered in schools. These politicians don't care. So for them to stand in front of a camera and pretend that they have the moral high ground or that they care about, the bodies of the children that are getting buried, every other week, it seems, it makes me so angry.
Absolutely, it's infuriating, it's enraging. It's not only hypocrisy, but it's just so incredibly disgusting. The thought that the first action that they do after 3 children and 3 adults are killed at their Christian school is that they pass law to protect gun manufacturers. That tells you where their priorities are. It's protecting their pockets. It's protecting the NRA and the gun lobbyists who are out here passing off coins to these lawmakers in order to get them to allow these guns to be so accessible and so widely available, even if it means that it's going to be our death, our plight. It is us who are going to be the targets, not any kind of animal for hunting or usage or any kind of lawful or legitimate use. No, not the case whatsoever. It's astonishing to me. But then again, it seems that that is the path that our nation has chosen. And it's sad because it's like we're imploding from within and we're just going to end up killing each other at the end of the day. But then again, those are just my thoughts.